want to make this video about the impending self-destruction of U.S. government and some of the stuff that's going on, but the public doesn't pay attention to it, or I think especially the foreigners, the Arabs, the Iranians like me, they're not really aware that this is going on. But I was listening to USA Watchdog, Greg Hunter, and he was saying that the U.S. Congress has recommended criminal investigation for Comey and Calvert, I think that's his name, the deputy or vice of FBI, and they want to investigate them for a range of corruption and crimes. And these two, they're very much connected to Mrs. Clinton and the Clinton Foundation. I guess the Congress is suspicious that these two impeded investigations or misled the investigators on the stuff that was going on with Clintons and their foundation, especially with the uranium deal with the Russians, and also Iran nuclear deal, which is a no signature deal, but I don't know why they can't give up on Iran, but we are a favorite target anyhow. And also he was saying that I guess Trump has initiated action or presidential order that has resulted in sealed indictments for thousands of government employees and also people, politicians too. And they are going to open these sealed indictments and serve them and also arrest people. So I think that basically my predictions in the past, I said that this will turn out to be a violent infighting between the two groups in the government. Well, I would divide these two groups to Trump camp, and he got elected fair and square. He's in the office, and he wants to gradually weed out the government from all this corruption and fraud, and but it can't, because most of the government is really the Clintons and the Bushes and the people that they appointed. So it's like the Sufi master said that sometimes there is an infection in a part of the body. This infection has become so entrenched or rooted. So even if you administer strong antibiotics to that section of the body or take it internally, the virus or the bacteria is so entrenched in the bone, in the flesh, that it will use even the antibiotic, even the strong antibiotic, and it will use it for its own growth. So in fact, what's happening is that they raided Trump's attorney's office looking for stuff to incriminate him. So they are not sitting idly. I am sticking by my prediction that at some point this will turn violent and it will result in the assassination of many U.S. politicians. I'm kind of very strongly suspicious that also Trump is going to get assassinated, will result in a backlash or payback from the other camp. Anyhow, also another development that's speeding up the destruction of this whole mechanism of U.S. government, politicians, corrupt politicians, and also rigged financial markets, is that the Chinese made a gold-backed yuan, and they're trading oil and other commodities in that trading desk. So, and it's also catching on many countries. I don't know how many contracts, thousands of contracts they sold every day. I was listening to Monaco 64. It was like thousands of contracts. So basically, if a government like Iran, that's frequently sanctioned by U.S. or Western countries, if it decides, hey, I don't want to deal with these guys anymore, and I want to just sell my oil to China, which is my biggest customer, then Iran could sell the oil to the Chinese and get either yuan, which it can easily use to buy many products the Chinese make, or buy weapons, whatever, or it could just ask go into another section of the same trading corporation and get gold for that oil. The same Saudis can do that. I'm betting that they're doing it, and also other countries, Gulf states that have oil. Also, many such countries like Iran or other oil-producing nations like Venezuela are now able to sell cryptocurrencies and trade their oil in that cryptocurrency, or they can buy and sell in euro or in ruble. So basically, nobody really needs all this trouble with the United States and their dollar, or to get any dollars. I think a lot of the dollars and their bonds are coming back. Well, I'm gonna tell you another thing about the bonds, U.S. bonds or treasuries that are coming back. But basically, a country could really wean itself off of dollars. So, in fact, I was looking at Etelaat, Iranian national newspaper, and also Press TV, and they were showing that in Iran, the money exchangers, they had all the monies from different countries listed and the equivalent value in rial or tuman. Tuman, which is 10 rial. You could trade and buy or sell in those, but when it came to the US dollar, it had to put 0, 0. That means that we are not buying US dollars and we are not selling US dollars. Doesn't matter if the price jacks up to million tuman for a dollar. If we are not buying it and selling it, and doesn't matter. And this has spread to Russia, China, Pakistan. I don't know about Afghanistan or Gulf states. I think they're still using dollars. But if a country like Iran or Russia, they produce just about anything, from agricultural products to medicine. I mean, if you're an Iranian and you're still very hard pressed to buy dollars, I would kind of question your motives, because why do you need to buy dollars? If you can buy any kind of medicine, any kind of weapon, any kind of agricultural product, any kind of herbs, any kind of machinery, right in Iran with Toman, why you need dollars? Or if you are very desperate, then you could like buy euros and go to Gulf states and buy that unfindable something, and then I think that it's just the mentality of some people that they're so addicted to Western philosophies or ideas. They just have a bias, but there's no economic reasons for it. So, but I had another video saying that the death of dollar does not matter, and in fact the dollar has died in the in the internal transactions in Iran, in China, in Russia, and so this is really just that, because the governments, they don't need it, and the people, they don't need it. Anyhow, I don't know if they have put fines. I think they put fines for money exchangers not to trade in dollar, but I don't think they have put fines with people, because basically it might not matter what rate there is. If the demand and also the government is not selling or backing it, then it really doesn't matter. Then also I was listening to Gregory Mannarino, and I think this is the reaction from the financial markets abroad, because he was saying that the bond market is bleeding off, which means there is a lot of bonds that are coming in, they're cashing out as cash, as dollars, and then they're moving out into the world. And the government or the Fed is constantly buying these bonds and shelving them. But he was talking about the yield curve, saying that the yield curve, the yield or the interest payment for a 30-year treasury is like 10 basis points away from yield or payoff for 10-year treasuries. So to hold your money in U.S. treasuries another 20 years, you only get like 10 basis points extra. So he was saying it might just, the yield curve might invert, and that's a very strong signal that the bond market is going to go into cardiac arrest, or and then it might spread into the stock market. I don't know. These are very strong signals. The bond market and also the internal feud within the U.S. government that's becoming overt, and it's resulting in criminal investigations and indictments. And I think that later on it's going to become violent too. And then I had another video saying, is Obama the last president? And I think a lot of those ideas are coming true, but they didn't happen very rapidly as I had predicted, but they are manifesting themselves. I think I said in that video that the United States does not deserve a democratic system of government, because there is just too much corruption inside the government, and also all the financial markets are totally rigged by the Fed. So they're just their control and rigging and fraud is just so widespread that I don't think Trump will be able to fix it. And at some point, the military will come in. I think what will happen, as I stated in the video, is Obama the last president, is that a part of the U.S. military that supports Trump. I think U.S. military has two factions. One is Pentagon, and the other one is the intelligence services. But I'm not totally sure, because I'm not an in crowd. But just from looking at this smoke from afar and trying to find where the actual fire is, it feels like it has two complete factions. One is one faction supports Trump. I think this faction will come in, like there will be like one or two generals from there, and the other faction one or two generals from there, and then two or three former presidents will come in and make it something like a junta when things totally blow up. And this junta, like the Brazilian junta, will be chaperoning the U.S. government into an organized bankruptcy. I don't know if there will be bloodshed or civil war, but I think that the Clinton camp, or what is really most of the U.S. government and Congress, at some point they'll just grab the power and try to get rid of the Trump people. Well, we have to see, but this is a kind of very quickening of this process as I see it from different alt media. Anyhow, thank you for being in my YouTube channel. My stuff is really research. You'll be hard pressed to find these material in other areas, in other websites. I think that usually other groups, they come in and they take this material and they put it under their own name. Hey, I don't care. I'm glad to be of service, but please subscribe and leave some comments. Okay, thank you very much.